Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about how you can fall into the gratitude trap and it's going to keep you stuck in a lonely marriage. There's so much I could say about this. So today we're going to talk about why we're doing it, what it's causing in our relationships, and what we can do differently. So the gratitude trap is when instead of using all the possible skills you could use in your marriage, you just use gratitude, okay? And you don't know you're doing this, but you know you're a spiritual woman or you're a woman who is in self-development, you're into manifesting, living your best life, and you're like, wow, gratitude is really, really powerful skill, right? When I focus on what's working in my life, I get more of it. When I focus on what's working in my relationship, I'm happier. I can stave off like that kind of dread or the negativity that can naturally happen to humans when we focus on what's not working and the problems. So I love gratitude. It's definitely what I would call a super skill, which means it's the pinnacle skill above all the other skills that we use to elevate our lives and to cultivate purpose and meaning and joy. So absolutely we need to use gratitude. But what happens is when I see women in situations in their marriage where their needs are not being met, they're lonely, they're irritated, they're frustrated, but they're going, but you know, he's a really good guy. I should be grateful. But you know, he's a good provider, and so I should be grateful. Actually, he's a really good dad, so I should be grateful, right? And you see the little trick here? It's not, I'm grateful and I have these issues. It's, I shouldn't have these issues because I should be grateful. So you're literally invalidating your feelings to yourself. You're dismissing yourself and saying, nah, don't have those negative feelings. Be grateful. So this gratefulness is used as a whitewash, like it's used to cover and suppress. And so this causes a lot of damage in your relationship and to you as a person because you're not holding space for yourself. You're shoulding yourself. You're saying, no, be grateful. You should be more grateful. Other women have it way worse than you. This is a really good guy. Be grateful. So let's talk about what this does to your relationship, right? It increases the amount of hurt, sadness, and loneliness in your marriage. Why does it do that? It does that because you're suppressing your rage, your resentment, and you vacillate between blaming him and blaming yourself. You're like, this guy's really an asshole. How does he act like that? And you're so mad. And then you're like, well, no, I shouldn't have got so mad because, well, I'm being impatient. I'm not being grateful. You know, maybe it's my fault. And so this cycle of blaming him, blaming you, shooting yourself to be more grateful is distracting you from addressing the things that need to be addressed in your relationship. It's literally allowing you to avoid all that stuff. So it actually makes things worse. This is why it's a really important trap. So why do we do it, right? We do it because we want to be a happy and satisfied person. And we know gratitude is a big part of that. People who do well in life, they focus on gratitude. They're happier. They're more satisfied. Wonderful motivation there. Number two, we want to enjoy our marriage. So we think there was a time when I really enjoyed this marriage. There was a time when I really enjoyed this person. So maybe if I just focus on those aspects, I'll be able to enjoy it again. Another big one is we like to think of ourselves as kind and grateful people. So focusing on gratitude works with our identity and self-image, right? We're not in the negativity. We're not in our feelings. We're just, I'm grateful. I'm positive, right? And the final one is we don't want to get divorced. So the boogeyman at the end of all of this is, I really don't want to get divorced. So how can I stave that off? I'm going to focus on gratitude and be like, this is working for me. This is good. Now, because it actually whitewashes the problems and prevents you from addressing them, it actually makes things worse because it allows you to tolerate. It gives you just enough mindset, like a mindset boost to put up with things that don't work for longer and longer and longer. So essentially more damage is done because you are able to focus on gratitude so hardcore. Why does this not work? Okay. Getting into the details of it. What's really going on underneath. We do it because we don't want to feel rage, sadness, grief, shame. That's pretty much it. Rage, sadness, grief, shame. If we were able to feel those feelings, we would feel them. But instead we're going, no, I don't want to feel those things. A next big reason we do this is because we're scared about what it means if we face the rage, the anger, the shame, the grief. Oh my God, I'm actually really angry. Does that mean we can't be together? Oh my gosh, I'm really disappointed. Does that mean we're not meant to be? Oh no, like I'm sad. Does that mean I'm not happy in this relationship? I'm not happy with this person? Then I can't be here anymore. So we shortcut that because we don't want to go to that thought process. The next major reason we do this is because we don't have the tools or the skills necessary to feel our feelings, okay? My notes are over here, that's why I glance there sometimes. Feeling your feelings is not easy, right? This is not something that we know how to do unless our parents modeled to it and taught us, which was not a thing until like a generation ago, maybe. So we don't know. We have those feelings and they literally are scary to us. We don't know how to handle them and how to process them. Another reason that we focus on gratitude is because we lack the ability to speak up for ourselves in a way that is effective, right? Like we have no voice and we have no confidence that our voice will be heard. So then we think, okay, I'm just going to go inside and I'm going to say, no, don't bring it up. Just be grateful, because we're actually very afraid of speaking up. Or we have spoken up, it just didn't work, right? So that's the effective part. And then the final one is, what if we did all those things? What if we spoke up and addressed the thing? It still didn't work. Now we really have to get divorced because now I've like faced it. I've like looked it in the face and been like, wow, my needs are not being met. I tried to get them met and they won't be. So now we feel as though we're forced into this decision. Let me know if that resonates with you in the comments. Do you feel scared or intimidated by the process of looking at your disappointments in your marriage? Put a hand up or just let me know if that resonates with you. So here's the truth. The truth is we don't have to make it mean anything that you're angry, resentful, cold, not sure where you stand with your husband. Marriages go through many seasons. People go through many seasons. People go through just ruptures that are really painful. Maybe it's a betrayal or a disappointment. You got let down and you're like crushed. And I want you to know every woman has been through that. Every woman has been through a disappointment. We call them ruptures, but some kind of hurt or pain where they were like, I can't do this. I can't handle this. I can't get through it. What am I doing? It's not meant to be. I don't know. Like basically questioned the whole thing and then came through it and didn't feel like that anymore. So we know that these thought patterns are not fact, right? We can get into these traps of thinking that we think are fact. So the truth is you get to choose what it means. You get to choose when it's time to walk out the door. You get to choose if it means you just have to accept who he is and stay. You get to choose if it means it's time to upgrade your relationship skills so you can upgrade your life. There is no thought pattern or emotion that makes you have to do anything, makes you have to stay, makes you have to go. You get to choose it. You are the meaning maker. And once you take responsibility for that, you will feel much more empowered in your whole life, but especially in your relationships. So the bigger problem here is that you do not have the skills necessary to create the satisfying marriage. Because if you did, you'd already done it, right? So if you don't have those skills, then you're afraid of going into the problem, going into the pain, going, this kind of hurts, and I don't know, I had this thing. It could be not even your husband, your mother-in-law, your friend, where your feelings got hurt, and you're like, oh, I didn't like that, but I don't know how to address it, so I'm just going to say, be grateful for the good stuff and move on, right? But actually, thriving relationships require quite a few other skills. Powerful communication being top of the list, probably being able to speak in a way that is effective, boundary setting, being able to protect yourself when you need to and not continue to expose yourself to harm, vulnerability, being able to express yourself from that deep place in your solar plexus, in your gut of like, I feel sad or whatever it may be. This vulnerable expression, again, non-negotiable. And last but not least, emotional self-regulation. Probably should put that one at the top. Because without the emotional self-regulation, you're not able to, again, feel and process rage, shame, disappointment, all of that, sadness and grief. So gratitude is wonderful. It's wonderful. And we should continue to be grateful. But don't use it as an excuse to invalidate your own self, to suppress your own needs and your own feelings, because your feelings and needs are what are keeping you in this relationship. This is where we need to flip our thinking as women. We think, I'm going to keep him happy and I'm going to be grateful to be fine. But no, it's not, because if your feelings are hurt all the time and if your needs are not met, you will be the one who leaves. You will be the one who says, I can't take this anymore. So in my work, in my real love method, the very first step is put yourself first. What do you need? What do we need to make sure that you're okay, that you can take on this next thing, that you can stand up for yourself and be courageous? So let's recap. Gratitude is just one skill. When you use it in isolation, it actually causes you to tolerate things that are destroying your relationship for longer, right? This is a problem. The real problem is that you don't have the skills and the capacity to hold your own emotions and use them as messengers to create the transformation you need in your relationship. If you want to know more about what some of these things are that we do that actually get in the way of having a thriving relationship, such as the gratitude trap, it's not like you're doing anything wrong, but it's actually undermining your relationship. I have a free gift for you for staying all the way to the end and really engaging with this work, which I'm so grateful for. And it's called 5 Ways You Could Unknowingly Sabotage Your Relationship. It's the top 5 things that I see women do, that I myself have done, that we seem to instinctually default to, that actually undermine the foundations of our relationship, the ability for it to be passionate and peaceful and sustainable. So comment 5 below for the 5 ways you could unknowingly sabotage your relationship, and I'll get you that free guide. Or if you're way past the point, you're like, I don't need a guide, I need to fix this thing, I'm losing my mind, like this is too much, I'm almost over the edge, and you're like, I need to talk to you now, I invite you to book a free connection assessment. This is where I sit with you, walk you through the whole thing. What is going on in your relationship? What are the parts that need to change first, and how are you going to change them? Because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. And I know it's so hard to take action for us as humans until we're like desperate for it. But let me tell you, the people who come to me when they're not on their last nerve, it's just so much easier for them because they still have the stamina and the confidence to change things. When you come, when you're half dead, we can still change it, but it's harder on you. It's harder on your heart because you've been hurt so many times. So how you feel matters. Your hurt feeling matters. Don't tell yourself you should just be more grateful. Those are messengers from your soul telling you what you need and telling you which direction you need to go. That's what I have for you today. If you are in a relationship and you need some support, or you know someone who's in a relationship and is not totally satisfied, please just send them my way. Have a little introduction. We can chat for 15 minutes and see how I can help them or if I can point them in the right direction. There's no pressure here. I'm never going to make you feel bad about anything. I won't judge your relationship. I've honestly seen it all. I'm not surprised. People struggle. We're all human here. So that's all I have for today. Comment below, get the free guide, or message me for your free connection assessment. I can't wait to hear from you. Bye-bye.